how I found you specifically was I was dating someone who was working in a production office and they threw me in as a PA. The producer came up to me one day and said, "You seem to have very good organizational skills. You follow instructions really well. I don't have to repeat myself to you. I can throw something at you and you're just like, got it, boss. And it's not a big deal. You don't stress out. You can communicate very well. You seem to have a really good memory. Have you ever thought of being a script supervisor?" And my answer was, what's a script supervisor? What I remember, first of all, and I'm probably going to get emotional about this because this is one of the reasons that I was actually even able to become a script supervisor, is at that time, I was working as a school bus driver and I was literally making $56 a day, well below the poverty line, especially in Toronto. And when that producer came up and said, "You should think about this career," and I said, "Well, I don't even know what it is." And he said, "One of the top script supervisors in town is holding a once a year workshop. I really think you need to take it." And I contacted you and I said, "Someone suggested this. Like, my life is kind of nothing right now. I want to be in the film industry. I've been acting my whole life. It's all I ever want to do is just be somewhere inside the film industry. And I don't want to be a hair and makeup person." And I remember I said to you, I said, "I don't have the money for this course." And you said, "Just come for the first day, just pay the half the price, and let's just see how you feel about the second day." And I remember, I'm quite sure that I actually sold something to make sure that I could go on that first day because something told me that this was one of those opportunities that I am being handed right now. I will regret it forever if I don't take it. And I normally, especially when you're kind of in a bad time, you just kind of go, "It's not important, forget it, I don't care. It's not a big thing." And I just anyway, so yeah, I sold something and I went to go see you. I think you'd maybe been speaking for 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and I was like, "And that's it. I have found it." That was it. Because you had started speaking about there was no requirements, but this is helpful if you do this. This is helpful if you do this. This is helpful. And I'm like, I have done all of these things already. I can do this. And that was it. And it was like you were standing, it was at the comedy bar, and you were standing on the stage, and it was like the light shone brighter on you, and everything else kind of got blurry because I'm like, this woman is literally my savior right now because my life is going in a direction that I never expected. And I'm like, she's got the answer and this, she's gonna fix this. And so yeah. It was September of 2012 because October was the first job. So I got this little short. It was Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night into morning on Monday for a dawn shot that they needed. And I was a school bus driver at the time, so I asked them if I could have that morning off just to cover, just to make sure, so I'm not late and stressed out. And they said, "No, you are literally in that moment in a movie where you can take the road that it's not paying you well, but at least you have some sort of money coming in, or you can take this road that is terrifying and you're not going to make any money for a little bit, but it will lead you to a lifelong career if you choose it." And it was this brain explosion of understanding, like, this isn't just a no, I shouldn't do this. This is literally, I could change the course of my life right now. I'd already taken your course and knew I wanted to do this. So why am I saying no to this opportunity right now? And I went in the next day and I told my job, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm quitting." I worked for 5 months on the like little shorts and indies and stuff that were needing someone. And by March of the following year, so 5 months later, it was my first paying job. It was very little money, but it was the most literally I'd ever made. And I've never worked unpaid since, except for when I've chosen to, for friends or whatever. The Iqaluit thing, ironically, I, I don't think I mentioned this to you. So I went back to Iqaluit last month for another Canadian portion. It was exactly 10 years from the last time I went. I'm so to this day, I'm really very honored that you did ask me because, like I said, it was intense, eye-opening, humbling, Um, kick you in the ass place. Everybody should go there in the winter for a minimum of a week to get your ego in check. Working out there, it also makes you the selfish part of me is it also makes you very grateful for we're working in the sun. Oh, it's hot. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? My iPad's not freezing within 30 seconds, or my papers aren't blowing away or getting soaked in the snow. Like, 50-kilometer-an-hour winds blowing and hitting you in the eyeballs. That was one of the most intense first things I did, though, because that was pretty quick. That was 2014. So it was only 2 years, not even a year and a half, because that was March of 2014. Lucifer has a place in my heart for sure, because it was the first television series that I'd worked on. It was the first big production where I realized that the same problems you'll find on an indie are exactly the same on a $50 million show. It's a pretty good job for people with ADHD, at least my kind of ADHD. The thing that makes me able to watch the monitor and also have the script right here, I don't find it as stressful as some other people do, but I think that's a superpower, I guess. I don't have to wear pantyhose. That's pretty great. You can dress as you. That's pretty nice. It's it's actually a perfect example of how I like to be in the world. When I played soccer, I was always a goalie. I'm a short, but I was always a goalie because I'm part of the team, but I'm away from everybody. I'm independent. I was a bartender, part of the team, but I'm alone. Just let me do my job, let me do what I do and leave me alone. That's it works out well.